हा. ओके. हे ऑनलाईन मुळे झालं, नाही तर पहिलं असं यायची माझ्याकडे, लोक यायची ना ट्रेनिंगलाच यायची. तुम्हाला हा तुम्हाला सांगितलं ना, कधी जरी यायची इच्छा झाली ना, तर मला फक्त एक दिवस हेडसअप देत जा की मला नाही यायचे तिकडे लोकेशन वरती, का इथंच आहे मी देऊळगाव मध्ये ते सध्या तरी. माझा पण पुढच्या 6 महिन्यामध्ये घर बांधायचं आहे ना इथे देऊळगाव मध्ये, तर तेव्हा मी माझं ऑफिस घराच्याच तिथे वर ऑफिस करणार आहे, पूर्ण फुल इक्विप्ड विथ ऑल द इन्स्ट्रुमेंट. म्हणजे आलं तरी हा सगळं फॅसिलिटी असेल तिथं पण. या काय, या ना या, काही 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 हरकत नाही आहे, तुम्ही या. ओके. नाही नाही, तुम्ही जास्त जास्त जर लोक असली ना, तर क्लासमध्ये ते बोर व्हायला लागतं तुम्हाला. म्हणजे कंटिन्युअसली आता मी 1.5 घंटा जर ज्ञान दिलं ना, तर तुम्हाला नाही पचनी. पण मी तसं नाही करत. मला कळतं की तुम्हाला कुठपर्यंत घेऊन जायचं, मी सोडून देतो आणि तिथून काहीतरी बाकीच्या गोष्टी करत असतो मग इकडच्या तिकडच्या आपल्या. नाही, म्हणून हा. ओके. चलो, विल स्टार्ट देन नाउ फायनली. So is it visible my screen or okay? Stop ignoring. My presentation is on. Okay, so as per the schedule, we'll start with the venture capital, and before that, there is a one the topic that we have, which is angel investor. Angel investor. Okay, so we'll take one example and we'll see to it. For example, you're a businessman, or else you are just looking into to enter in the startups or your own business, and you have a unique idea. So let's say you're like you're looking to resolve the payments into the sorry, you're looking to resolve the problems into the payment industry, and that is what you have a unique idea which can resolve the cross border payment issues as well. So at this point of time, we have a views legacy, so we cannot transfer the payments very easily to the persons who is abroad, or that transaction we can call like the cross border transactions. So like even there is a huge cost which is involved in the transaction. So it could be around 20%, 30%, 40%, and even the process is like very time consuming. But you have a solution for it, so you can resolve this issue quickly. Within a 30 minute, you can transfer the payment to the different location across the globe without any delay and without high cost, that would say, like within a 2%, 3%, or hardly 5%. Within that, the people can complete the transactions, and they have a exposure of, even they don't need to go to anywhere, so they can directly install the application in their phone and they can do it quickly. So this the idea that you have. But again, you don't have funding, you don't have money to expand this idea across the globe. Even you don't have a funding to run this scale or business, or you don't have a fund to expand this business operations across the globe, then what can you do? Definitely, you will invite someone who can contribute to develop your business skill or expand your business skill. Then that person could be like God for you, or that God you can call like angel investor. So who is ready to invest in your business, in your idea, not in your business. Okay, this is very important. Even this process called as सीड फंडिंग प्रोसेसिंग, सीड फंडिंग, सीड सीड का मतलब है कि जो है ना कि हम कल्टीवेट करते खेत में, यू नो। हाँ, सो दैट सीड फंडिंग। मुझे पता नहीं कि फ्यूचर क्या होगा, मैं तुम्हें उसका सीड्स वगैरह मार्केट से लाने के लिए पैसे दे रहा हूँ, आप खेती में डालोगे, उसमें अगर कुछ फसल अच्छी आई तो हो सकता है कि विल बी इन प्रॉफिट। Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that is what the blockchain technology in place. So if yeah, if you are aware about it or not, I'm not sure, but that is like Ripple technology, even Matic technology, Cardano. These are like blockchain technologies that are working on a payment solutions, end-to-end payment solutions. So that is what I took this example in the discussion. So they are sending payments from one country to another country quickly. And even you can do that from on your own. You don't need any middleman who can help you to convert your currencies into another currency and who can send that money to another one and they can charge views their cost on the transaction. Not in that way. So quickly you can convert that currency in any currency, your currency in any currency that you want, and you can send it to across the globe quickly. But the requirement is he or she should have the application. That's it. And again, they can convert into that currency. So it this will happen within a 1 hour of time span, not even 2 days or 3 days. Right? So that is what. So I took this example in a practical way, so we can discuss lots of things, and again, will help you to even to understand the concept in a very deep way. Okay, so you have an idea, then definitely we'll look around here and there for the funding and the persons that will be there as angel investor. So who can be an angel investor? It can be your parents, it can be your relatives, it can be your friends, it can be the banks, it can be the businessmen like Ratan Tata, Warren Buffett, then the Ambani, right? There are Adani, many more. And even it could be a normal person as well who has the ability to contribute or who has the ability to pay the fund, so which is required to running a business operations. As simple as that. Most of the time they interview panel also they try to make a perplex on that particular concept. Who can fund to the said funding or who can provide fund to the who can be an angel investor even. Right? There is no such a definition. The definition is who has the ability to pay. He or she can be that एंजल इन्वेस्टर आप भी बन सकते हो राइट आपके लिए ऐसी कोई रिक्वायर ये नहीं है कि 2 करोड़ आपके पास चाहिए 10 करोड़ चाहिए समझो कि आपकी आइडिया है जो मैंने बोला कि पेमेंट रेजोल्यूशन दैट यू फाउंड और डिस्कवर्ड now you just want 20 lakhs rupees who can pay the 20 lakhs rupees you are ready to contribute 2% or 3% partnership to him अभी 20 lakhs मेरे पास है तो मैं कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकता हूँ कोई बैंक कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकती है दैट इज व्हाट मोस्ट ऑफ द बैंक्स दे कैरी देयर वेंचर कैपिटल लिमिटेड विद देम दे क्रिएट अ सेपरेट एंटिटी फॉर दिस एंड उसी का एक हिस्सा है एंजल इन्वेस्टिंग के लिए ही ये लोग डाइवर्सिफाई करते हैं ऐसे यूनिक आइडियाज है इफ दे हैव अ यूनिक दे ट्राई ऑलवेज ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट द यूनिक बिजनेस आइडियाज क्योंकि उनको पता है कि अगर ये जाके मल्टी बैगर कन्वर्ट हो सकती है देन डेफिनेटली कि चलो भाई हम इसी को इन्वेस्ट करेंगे अभी if you see the Ratan Tata he has invested around 25 companies and those are like startups even 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 latest that news we have uh, the Ambani invested in Trident life science company something almost they have they invested 400 crore something 43% stake they grabbed in that organization because everyone is looking for to multiply their wealth, right? So that is what. So the first person would be the angel investor. And if you ask me, so what would be process? How can we find them? So where we can reach out? So how can we discuss? How can we negotiate with them? So very simple. You don't need to go anywhere. Even you can just reach out to the venture capital firms or even you can reach out to the bankers, business bankers or commercial bankers, and you can put your requirements with them. Hey guys, I'm looking for an investor who can contribute in my idea. I don't have a collateral. That is what I can't afford even loans, and even you also can't provide loans just because I don't have a collateral and my business is very new. is at a seed level, right? So actually, I'm looking for an angel investor who is ready to take a risk and who is willing to take a risk, right? And if you can demonstrate this idea to the bankers, then bankers will work as a middleman between you and angel investor. Okay, they will find someone who is ready to or who is interested to do invest in these businesses. And even because way back, if you go 5 years ago, 10 years ago, there wasn't even technological platforms. But now we have technological platforms, and you can find the angel investors portal online as well on internet. So where that just you need to register yourself. If you are investor, even you can still you can register. And suppose if you are not investor, you are like entrepreneur, you have a unique idea, even you can register that idea as well, right? So they will scrutinize that idea, and accordingly they can take a decision, and they will call you, hey, I'm interested in this. So can you please demonstrate, or can you please schedule a meeting so we can discuss further part. And if you can discuss the further part, definitely you will appoint someone who can manage the fund activities on behalf of you. So it could be a fund administrator, or it could be a trustee. Trustee means who have a you have a trust, or that person have a trust on that particular XYZ. So it could be a bank, it could be a NBFC, non-banking financial institutions, right? But yeah, so in this case, you can just treat like the trustee or bank who can provide this account facility, or who can provide this payment facility, who can provide the payment transfer facility to each other. Because once they entered, we'll have to transfer the payment to each other, right? So that is what. So then if you can demonstrate that idea to the angel investor, then you can appoint trustee as a bank. Definitely trustee will charge some commission, because they will provide the payment service to you. when the ये फंडिंग भी होती है, तो उसका भी एक वे होता है ना, कि जैसे कि एक पहले स्टेज में कितना होगा, दूसरी स्टेज में कितना होगा, तीसरी स्टेज में कितना होगा, एंड वेयर रिक्वायर्ड अ डॉक्यूमेंटेशन. एंड इवन यू कैन सी द बायलैटरल डॉक्यूमेंटेशन एज वेल, राइट? Your registration, your business registration number, your other documentation part, your KYC part, your bank account details, your business details, your business other the presentations and all, right? Your trademark, copyright, everything should be there, right? So all the documentation part would be there. And even you can appoint some legal entities as well who can take care of each and everything. Even you can appoint to the CA firms who can help you to do the valuations of your idea. So ultimately you will have to do the valuation of your business. Then you can just distribute some portion of that particular idea to someone. So here you are directly selling that idea, or selling some portion of that idea to someone, right? So you will have to perform each and everything. Hmm. You, see, see the yeah, exactly. The point is, if you're funding to the businesses, and if you don't have a record, then how can you apply the tax treatment to your at the end of the year, or at the end of the quarter? Because the tax is something will tax liability is something that applies to everyone, right? And if you don't consider this fund, then it means you're hiding something, or else you're not paying the tax on that as well, right? So it can be increase the tax, it could be increase the tax, or it could be decrease, but anyways it should be in a very transparent way, right? So it should be highlight on your own balance sheet as well. आप बैंक का लोन लेते हो तो क्या आप नहीं मेंशन करोगे? नहीं करोगे तो टैक्स ज्यादा जाएगा, right? So everything should be recorded, and that is what the reporting come into picture. So what is the role of reporting? So this reporting applies to the investor, and this reporting applies to the entrepreneurs as well. So from both the perspective, reporting is the key, or is the mirror of the business. In the initial stage, if you don't have a reporting structure in place, then you cannot demonstrate or exposition of your idea to the investors, and even you cannot negotiate with them, right? Okay, please go ahead. Hmm. So actually, this alternative investment space is not a regulated space, okay, in the few countries, but in recently, even the Indian government started to regularize them, right? So now they are like under the Finance Ministry of India. So they will have to submit this all the report to the Finance Ministry of India, and once they're listed, then SEBI come into picture. Right. Because most of the country nowadays you can see in the US, I think I believe, or UK, alternative investment space has been regulated. And now there you can see the federal government commission where or security uh, commission, exchange commission, where will have to submit all the reports exactly. But in India, like still that is under the finance ministry. So that is what every when they take the decision. So the latest news on the alternative investment space is like if you want to announce the hedge fund scheme or venture capital scheme, then the person who is launching this particular fund, they will have to contribute at least 20% capital from their end till the end of this particular scheme or expire the particular scheme. So before the person the no 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 the person who is launching this scheme, अगर आप ही अनाउंस कर रहे हो तो आपको पहले 25% आपको उसमें कंट्रीब्यूट करना पड़ेगा. अगर 1 लाख की स्कीम है, 1 लाख करोड़ की स्कीम है, so you should have a 20,000 crores to launch this scheme. Otherwise कैसे हो रहा है ना कि मतलब मेरा पैसा नहीं तो मैं कुछ भी डिसीजन ले लूंगा. खुद की पूंछ जब अटक जाती है तो मैं थोड़ा सा और मोर कॉशियस हो जाऊंगा ना कि भाई मेरा भी पैसा अटका हुआ है एंड तुम्हारा पैसा एट द एंड रिडीम होगा. ऐसे नहीं कि तुम पहले से निकाल लोगे अपना पैसा. नहीं, ये अलग अलग कंट्री पे, बट या कुछ ना कुछ कंट्रीब्यूशन इट शुड बी देयर. ऐसे नहीं कि भाई मैं, हाँ मैं ऐसे नहीं कि चलो कुछ भी नहीं, मेरा कुछ भी नहीं. इट्स see, to dealing with the client's money which is something very critical task, राइट. तो कहीं ना कहीं हमारा भी कंट्रीब्यूशन होना चाहिए ना. अगर नहीं है तो हम नहीं कर पाएंगे अच्छे से मैनेज. जैसे कि अभी तुम ऑफिस में जाने के बाद फीलिंग आती है ना, छोड़ दो कितना करना है. एंड वही अगर खुद का बिजनेस रहा तो यू विल नेवर कंप्लेन टू एनीवन. You'll always try to encourage to your staff, hey guys, we'll have to do it, you should consider as this is your own business, right? Then you will start to give ज्ञान to them. So as simple as that. तो वही है, मतलब खुद का पैसा है अटका हुआ तो तुम और अच्छे से करोगे. Okay. So that is what you want. Reporting come into picture, valuation part come into picture, then other the documentation framework will come into picture when the angel investor started to invest in the business, and that is what the angel investor is, the first persons who can invest in the business idea, right? But yes, the process is like angel investing, you can't see much business or you can't see much scope in the India at this point of time. But as the government is encouraging to the startups or age of doing business in the India, so in upcoming time you can see some big scope for angel investing part as well. But at this point of time, the Indian banks are taking care of all the facilities, and they are providing this facility, this angel investing facility to the startups and all. They are taking care of everything, the documentation part, the other, the negotiation part, like the middleman's part and all, right? So they are taking care of it at this point of time. Like HDFC Capital, HDFC Securities हो सकता है, HDFC Bank हो सकता है, ICICI हो सकता है. So they are taking care of it. Okay. Okay, so up to the angel. So now again we'll take the same example. पेमेंट सोल्यूशन आपने नाम भी रखा है, समझो कि इंडियाज पेमेंट सोल्यूशन. आप आपकी जो आइडिया है, इंडियाज पेमेंट सोल्यूशन, क्रॉस बॉर्डर पेमेंट सोल्यूशन. नाउ यू हैव दिस यूनिक आइडिया. आइडिया आपकी पॉपुलर हो रही है, but still you need a money to scale your business, to increase your business operation. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Yeah, yeah, just a minute. Yes, yes. Is it audible my voice to you? No problem. Yeah, yeah, no problem. I'll speak. Okay, so suppose your idea is like India's payment solution, all right? And now you received the seed funding or the angel invest fund from the angel investors, but again you're looking for to expand your business operations at a large scale, or you are looking to scale to your business. Because scaling is something very important. Scaling means to increase the business operations and try to generate the revenue as much as you can. To generate more revenues, then it will convert into a profit, right? So that is what. So now you have another challenge is to scale to your idea, scale to your business operations, or to increase the business operations, or to expand the business operations at a large scale. So that is what you need to have a fund, long term fund, right? Long term means long term. ओके अगर लॉन्ग टर्म फंड नहीं है सो इट्स बीट डिफिकल्ट टू कई बार ऐसे सवाल आते हैं कि पैनल की तरफ से सवाल आते हैं कि फंड व्हाई द वेंचर कैपिटल इज इंपॉर्टेंट फ्रॉम अ बिजनेस पर्सपेक्टिव definitely the business perspective is every business in the startup stage we need to have a long term capital, right? If we don't have a long term capital then we cannot scale to our business, we cannot increase our business operations because capital is the backbone of any business, right? Without capital we can't run the business operations. Business की need ही है, business the capital is like a blood. If the blood stop then हम नहीं है यहाँ पे. The same way we need to have that. And the VC plays vital role in the startup's life. And that is what अभी कई सारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस है, कई सारे मतलब कई सारे इंस्टीट्यूशंस है. इवन इन इंडिया लाइक आईसीआईसीआई वेंचर है, ग्लोबल कैपिटल वेंचर भी है, उनका भी वेंचर कैपिटल स्कीम है. एट ग्लोबल लेवल कई सारे इंटरनेशनल फर्म्स रहेंगे, लिस्ट ऑफ इंटरनेशनल वेंचर्स है. इवन एपेक्स इंस्टीट्यूशन का भी वीसी एक साइड यूनिट है. ये कई सारी बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां वेंचर कैपिटल्स रन करती है. कोई विद इन जोग्राफी रन करती है, कोई आउटसाइड द जोग्राफी एज वेल रन करती है, इंटरनेशनल वेंचर कैपिटल और डोमेस्टिक वेंचर कैपिटल. तो द पॉइंट इज अगेन कि ये दोनों के लिए भी जैसे कि ये वेंचर वीसी इज क्वाइट रिस्की asset class. Quite risky means you can see views risk in the business. अभी रिस्क कैसी और रिस्क कैसे ज्यादा है because you don't know so what will be the future of this particular idea or business. क्योंकि जब बिजनेस लॉस कमा रहा होता है, बिजनेस जब लॉस में होता है तब ही हम फंडिंग करते हैं बिजनेस को. अगर तुम इस बिजनेस की मतलब यानी कि अगर मैं तुम्हें ग्राफ दिखाता हूँ निकाल के. India's payment solution IPS. Yeah, just a minute. Okay. See this. This is. Can you see my screen? Right. Okay. So see this. So VC start to invest in this business from here. So this means this is already your business is in loss, right? So you will have to do business in this way, right? But there is like least probability There are like, because the countries like India, you can see the 70% businesses they shut down their business every year, right? So we have means it, you can see the risk in the business is like the succession ratio of the startup businesses is like only 25%, right? And see, if you can do the funding to these businesses, so it means the VC, the capital, venture capital is like, quite risky instrument or asset class. You have to start to do funding to this business in this stage. So where the business, yeah, they have a revenue, high revenue, but they are in a loss, high losses. Here again losses, here again losses. Then business, when they start to generate the profit, so it means here you can see like they start to generate profit for the business, right? This way the profit will start to generate. Then here at some any point of time you can look for exit strategy. Exit strategy, why exit strategy? Because ultimately you need your money back, right? क्योंकि यहाँ पे if you have invested 100 crore and at this point of time the value has been around 1000 crore, then your money has been multiplied by 9x, right? So definitely everyone will look to exit from it. So so the return is around 900% is something like you have created big wealth. So everyone will exit. So at this point of time, then you can sell your assets or sell your stake to the mutual fund houses. Sorry, at this point, okay, we'll discuss first up to the private equity, the mutual fund and hedge fund instrument, they will come into picture. But yes, they eventually, the venture, when they can exit the venture capitals, when you found someone who is ready to invest or who is ready to take your holding in that particular company, then you can sell your holding to them and you can exit from the business, right? But the point is कि आप यहाँ पर business के invest कर रहे हो, यहाँ पे कर रहे हो, it means कि there is a huge risk in the business. ये अगर इसको लॉस को पूरे प्रॉफिट में कन्वर्ट करना है, इस तरह से जो बिजनेस ऑपरेशंस होते हैं, दे आर लाइक क्वाइट रिस्की. तो कई बार आर्ग्यूमेंट दैट यू कैन सी, so why the investors will invest money in the venture capitals, as the venture capital is quite risky financial asset class, right? So the important is every investor goal is to see, when we call investment, the risk is, default risk is there, no one can avoid to this. In the investment you can see the two types of risk. One is systematic risk and another one is unsystematic risk. You can't avoid the systematic risk. So it means कि अगर कल business डूब गया, this is a systematic risk that you can't avoid it. जैसे कि pandemic आने वाला था, that nobody was aware about it. Such a pandemic will hit to this world's economy and it will create a massive the disastrous situation for all of us. No one was in this even in a position who can predict this situation. क्योंकि चाइना में भी आया तब भी हमें लग रहा था कि इंडिया पे नहीं होगा, इंडिया में आया तो लगा क्या बाकी कंट्रीज को हमारे पे नहीं होगा, राइट? सो दिस इज अ सिस्टमैटिक रिस्क दैट वी कांट अवॉइड इट. जैसे कि बैंकिंग सिस्टम में होता है फ्रॉड्स होना होता है, अगर कभी फ्रॉड्स हो या फिर बैंक अगर डूब गई ज़्यादा एनपीए की वजह से, सो वी कांट प्रिडिक्ट दैट रिस्क एंड दैट रिस्क इज इन नॉट इन आवर हैंड और इवन वी कांट कंट्रोल इट. बट जो अनसिस्टमैटिक रिस्क होती है कि जैसे तुम्हें पता चला है कि बिजनेस डूबने वाला है, 2 साल आपने फंडिंग किया एंड पता चला कि भाई आगे कुछ होगा नहीं इसका फ्यूचर. यू कैन look for another the person who is willing to invest in this business and you can negotiate with them or you can convince to them or him or her and you can sell your stock to that xyz person or entity, right? So that is like comes under unsystematic risk. But the point is again the risk will be there. So anyone, if they try to do argument with you on this point. So you can see, like, when you talk about investment, by default the risk will be there. But the point is, so the persons who are running the business operations, are they managing the risk effectively? Are they utilizing all the resources effectively or not? Are they mobilizing all the resources in a effective manner or not? So we'll have to keep close eye on each and every functions, and we'll have to monitor it, right? And if you don't monitor, then definitely the result ultimate result will be like we'll have to bear the huge losses, and sometime we'll have to lose the principal capital as well. But yes, the from a as an investor point of view, so where you can see the views risk, definitely even you can see the views returns as well. So you can even pick up examples like Paytm, even you can pick up examples like Zomato, even you can pick up examples like the IRCTC, right? Even you can pick up examples like the recent one, not even MobiWik, right? So they are now going to list their stocks. So they have generated views wealth for their venture capital investors, for their angel investors, for their the private equity investment holders, right? So that is what eventually risk है, तो risk में भी इश्क है जैसा है ना, कि मतलब who is willing to take a risk so he can generate the money. The point is about the risk. So that is what. But yes, so when we talk about venture capital is to uh, same. It works like a mutual fund and hedge funds. Like venture capital, also the institutions they can build a pool where the institutional investor they can contribute the funds in that particular pool, and the venture capital managers or venture capital team or the administrators or the entity who is managing the venture capitals, they can find out the new ideas and rapidly growing companies, as I mentioned. So again, we can take your example, India's payment solution. So suppose XYZ venture capital is there or ICICI venture capital is there, and they are very uh, optimistic about your unique idea and the way you have developed this business skill at this point of time. So that is what they are interested to contribute the fund in your business. So it means the fund, right? So how they can uh, how they can go ahead with this funding procedure, again it's very important. You can see that this point, the purchase, the raise pool is one point. Even in your answer also you can mention these points, bold points. This is very important. What is the importance of venture capital? Definitely to raise a capital from the institutional investors, to again to grab the funds, or else from an investor point of view to provide fund to the growing companies or unique businesses, right? And how you can enter into this funding procedure, you can directly purchase the preferred equities. Right. So in a shares also two types that you can see. One is common stock or equity, and another is preferential stocks. So that is what I already mentioned. So you need to have a proper reporting in place where on the basis of that you can value it or value to your business. And once you can value to your business, you can segregate that value in a small denomination, and each denomination you can call shares. So it could be preference shares or it could be the common stock. Are you with me? Preference shares, preference. Okay, okay. So, securities then. So again, there are two types that so in which you can grab the positions in the when in the businesses. One, you can again ask for a take a positions in their boards. Board, it means their management. You can be a part of their management, active management. Even you can interfere in the decisions as well. Even you can put your thoughts, you can you put your uh, different strategies, right? You can do everything as they are doing. So it means you can be a board members as well if you want, or else you can just purchase the preferred equities. If you don't want to be a part of the management, you can be a external stakeholder just to purchase a preferred equity. बट ये जो प्रेफर्ड इक्विटी है या फिर टेक बोर्ड पोजीशंस है उसके लिए जो अभी पॉइंट ये हमारे दिमाग में आता है कि सर ये तो हुआ थेरोटिकल पर्सपेक्टिव से हुआ कि सपोज इफ आई जॉइन वेंचर कैपिटल सो व्हाट कुड बी माय रोल्स ऑफ रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज देयर एज अ वेंचर कैपिटल प्रोसेसर. अभी वहां पे भी देखिए अगर वेंचर कैपिटल की यहाँ पे बात हो रही है तो डेफिनेटली जो रिपोर्टिंग प्रोसीजर है दिस इज लाइक quite important element of this entire venture capital business. Reporting in terms of like your balance sheets, your cash flows, your fund flow statements, right? Your different ratios, right? The internal rate of return, your the even there are like you can see the initial investment returns, the risk, their idea valuation, n number of things that you can see like your business valuations in in comparison with the other competitors, right? जैसे कि आप पेमेंट सोल्यूशन में हो और भी कोई मैं भी पेमेंट सोल्यूशन में हूँ. So what is your value at this point of time? What are your customer base? What is your what about your operations that you are doing? How you are managing the operations than me, right? So everything matters and everything that will have to consider while doing the valuations के भी दो ways आपको मिलेंगे. ये अभी ये कोई जॉब कौन करता है तो ये सीए करता है. डेफिनेटली दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ सीए और एल्स इवन यू कैन आल्सो डू बट यू शुड हैव दैट कैपेबिलिटीज टू प्रिडिक्ट द वैल्यू ऑफ द बिजनेस. क्योंकि ये लेने वालों के लिए भी इंपॉर्टेंट है अगर वैल्यू उसकी अच्छे से नहीं कैलकुलेट होती है तो, एंड ये ना लेने वालों के लिए यानी कि जो फंड ले रहा है उसके लिए भी इंपॉर्टेंट है. So that is what two models that you can see. One is like the discounted cash flow model. एक होता है कि मार्केट डीसीएफ. एक होता है मार्केट प्राइस देनी है कि कुछ डिस्काउंट करना है. डिस्काउंट में क्या क्या हो सकता है, रीजंस कई सारे आएंगे. ये डीसीएफ भी पूछा जाएगा आपको अगर इफ यू सेट फॉर अ बेसिक इंटरव्यू कि ये मॉडल में क्यों डीसीएफ हम कंसिडर करते हैं. द रीजन कुड बी लाइक इफ यू फील दैट अभी at this point of time business value is this particular scale been over valued, तो इसकी वैल्यू एक्चुअली नहीं है, ये ओवर वैल्यूड हुआ है ड्यू टू एक्स वाई जेड रीजन. जैसे कि अभी मार्केट में तुम्हारी आइडिया नई नई आई है तो ऐसे ही थोड़ा सा बूम चल रहा है बट तुम्हें लग रहा है कि ये लेटर ऑन जाके थोड़ा सा इसका जो वैल्यूएशन कम हो जाएगा, राइट? तो कई सारे इवन हो सकता है कि इफ यू फील दैट कि कोई अगर लिटिगेशन है वहां पे गवर्नमेंट का या फिर किसी ऐसे कमीशन का, ये अभी तक पेंडिंग है. जैसे कि अभी जस्ट एक एग्जांपल ऑफ बिग बाजार, राइट? सो दे आर लाइक फाइटिंग अगेंस्ट द अमेजोन टू सेल आउट देयर बिजनेस टू रिलायंस. बट अभी अगर उनको फंडिंग चाहिए, अगर कोई फंडिंग करेगा, फंडिंग इमीडिएटली नहीं होती है. हम जितना बोलते हैं ना कि फंडिंग होगी उतनी इमीडिएटली नहीं होती है. there is required lots of framework in terms of valuation, in terms of calculations of assets and all, in terms of their business valuations, everything that they will have to look into. एक वैल्यूएशन एक कंपनी होती है, सेपरेट वेंडर होता है हम उसको कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स देते हैं जो कि प्रॉपर्टी की वैल्यू करता है. उनका काम ही वही है कि प्रॉपर्टी की वैल्यू करें हम, राइट? तो ये लोग पूरा वैल्यूएशन और फ्रेमवर्क करके दे देते हैं, पूरा का पूरा वेंचर कैपिटल का पूरी की पूरी चीजें वो लोग डिसाइड करके देते हैं. तो वही चीजें अगर ये वेंचर कैपिटल खुद भी करता है. अगर आप जॉब करोगे वहां पे आप बोलोगे कि सर मेरा तो रिपोर्टिंग का एक्सपीरियंस है, तो यू शुड हैव अ गुड हैंड्स ऑन बैलेंस इट, देन प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट, फंड फ्लो स्टेटमेंट्स, then again the ratios, initial rate of return IRR, देन पीवी, कई सारे ऐसे रेशियोज है, फाइनेंशियल रेशियोज है, दैट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू शुड नो. इवन ऐसे नहीं कि थियोरेटिकली चाहिए, उसको प्रिडिक्ट भी करना होता है, क्योंकि आप एक कंपनी का खुद के जिसको आप अक्वायर करना चाहते हो या फिर जिसका टारगेट है उसको ही आप वैल्यूएशन नहीं करोगे, यू विल हैव टू डू द वैल्यूएशंस ऑफ दैट कॉम्पिटिटर कंपनी एज वेल। अगर अगर आपका कॉम्पिटिटर मैं हूं तो इसलिए वो पगार भी ज्यादा लेते हैं ना। या तो ये चीजें वहां पे ऑल फ्रेमवर्क आपको देखने को मिलेगा, एंड ये आप अगर वहां ज्वाइन करते हो तो खुद आपको यही चीजें करनी होगी। वैल्यूएशन करो, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन मेंटेन करो, केवाईसी मेंटेन करो, रिकॉन करो। अभी रिकॉन की प्रोसेस तो उसमें पिक्चर में कैसे आएगी, जब ये फंडिंग होता रहेगा, फंडिंग होगा तो जहां से फंडिंग होता है तो आपको अकाउंट्स पे बैठना पड़ेगा, जो खर्चा होता है ना, कई सारे खर्चे होते हैं, तो उनके लिए तो आप जो वायर्स पेमेंट आते हैं एंड जो जहां जाते हैं तो उसको रिकनसाइल करते बैठते हो। क्योंकि इम्पोर्टेंट ये है कि जो फंड आया है उस जिस पर्सपेक्टिव के लिए आया है उसी पर्सपेक्टिव के लिए यूटिलाइज भी होना चाहिए। एंटी मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग भी प्रोसेस हो सकती है, जिसमें एक सेटअप किया जा सकता है कि वहां से पूरा पेमेंट ट्रांजैक्शंस मॉनिटर हो जाए। कई मतलब वेंचर कैपिटल के लिए, मतलब वेंचर के लिए, वेंचर का मतलब है कि बिजनेस, कैपिटल का मतलब है फंड। तो हम वेंचर कैपिटल के यानी कि बिजनेस के नाम से कैपिटल ले रहे हैं, सो इट शुड बी यूटिलाइज द फंड फॉर अ बिजनेस एक्टिविटीज ओनली, नॉट द अदर पर्सपेक्टिव, राइट। तो ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसलिए आप ये आपके आंसर में भी ये चीजें मेंशन कर सकते हो, जरूरी नहीं कि आप और कुछ बता रहे हो, यही चीजें बताओ। कोई डिनाई करने का कोई स्कोप है नहीं है उसके लिए। एग्जैक्टली, बिकॉज ये फंड कैसे ट्रांसफर होता है, बिकॉज नो बडी कैन ट्रांसफर द फिजिकल कैश टू समवन एल्स। एवरीथिंग शुड बी लाइक इन अ वेरी सिस्टमैटिक वे। अभी मैं 200 करोड़ मंगवा रहा हूँ फंडिंग, सी, 200 करोड़ इज वेरी लार्ज अमाउंट। हम्म। Exactly, exactly. That is what, see, the two types of the acquisitions you can do or acquire the equity. The first one is purchase preferred equity. So if you go through this, even you don't have a right to ask such questions, okay? Preferred equity. But if you take a position, board positions, so it means you are actually, you will have actually rights to interfere in the business decisions. Then you will not allow them to spend money in such a way as they want. You will have a close observation on each and every activities. Even you can suggest them, even you can put your thoughts or opinions in the meeting, board meeting. भाई तुम बोल सकते हो कि अगर 100 करोड़ आप इसके लिए यूज करो तो तुम बोल सकते हो भाई 100 करोड़ तो लगने ही नहीं वाले, 50 करोड़ में होना चाहिए। अगर तुम्हें लग रहा है कि 2 करोड़ में होता है तो तुम डेफिनेटली यू कैन टेक यूर स्टैंड कि भाई ये तो 2 करोड़ में होना चाहिए, आप तो बोल रहे कि 5 करोड़ लग रहे, राइट। सो ये होता है टेक बोर्ड पोजीशन, मतलब आप प्रेफर्ड इक्विटी के साथ आप उनको बोल रहे हो कि मुझे बोर्ड में पोजीशन भी चाहिए। बट ये होता कैसे वो भी बताता हूं मैं। एक डॉक्यूमेंट्स होता है मास्टर अग्रीमेंट, यू कैन कॉल एक मास्टर अग्रीमेंट और असाइनमेंट अग्रीमेंट, राइट। तो एक अग्रीमेंट साइंड होता है, उसमें क्लॉज होते, कई सारे क्लॉज होते हैं, उसमें नाम होता है हु इज द बायर, हु इज द सेलर, राइट। इंस्टीट्यूशन का नाम होगा, जैसे कि इंडिया पेमेंट सोल्यूशन प्राइवेट लिमिटेड और स्टार्टअप्स, उसमें बायर सेलर और जैसे कि बोरो और लेंडर, ये जैसे होता है ना सेम वे, उन आपका एड्रेस भी होगा पूरा, राइट। देन होगा कि टोटल टोटल कमिटमेंट अमाउंट और ग्लोबल कमिटमेंट अमाउंट दैट यू कैन कॉल, so how much fund that you're going to allocate or fund to that particular business. So it could be like 1000 crore. Okay, so if it is a 1000 crore, then how you gonna be fund to that particular business, or how many stages, like first stage, second stage, third, fourth, fifth, you can see some stages as well. So in the first stage that you are going to fund around 200 crore, right. So you will have to mention each and every details on the agreement, and you can submit that agreement to the trustee. क्योंकि जब भी आप पेमेंट के, आपने बोला ना कि अगर हम इंस्ट्रक्शन देते तो नहीं पूछेंगे क्या, ये एग्रीमेंट अगर आप उनके पास दोनों का सबमिट करो तो क्यों पूछेगा अभी ट्रस्टी? ट्रस्टी को पता है पेमेंट डेट क्या है, क्योंकि वहां पेमेंट डेट के साथ होती है ना पूरी चीजें। तो ये फिर वेरीफाई भी कर सकते, अगर आप वहां पे काम करो तो आप भी वेरीफाई कर सकते हो कि ये मास्टर एग्रीमेंट आप ओपन करोगे, देखोगे यार सेकंड पेमेंट की डेट तो ये है, अभी तक फंड नहीं आया, या फिर आया तो सही आया है नहीं है, आया है, अगर आया है तो फिर उतना वही सामने वाले काउंटर पार्टी को यू कैन कॉल देम एंड कंफर्म द डिटेल्स कि हे गाइस वी हैव रिसीव्ड 200 crores, सो कैन यू प्लीज कंफर्म द अकाउंट डिटेल्स टू अस सो वी कैन ट्रांसफर दिस फंड टू यू। यही चीजें होती है, क्योंकि एक वो उनका सेविंग अकाउंट के जैसे ओपन करके वो चीजें नहीं करते बैठते, क्योंकि उनके पास उतना टाइम नहीं होता है कि उनका कोई बंदा बैठ रहा है एक्चुअली फंड ट्रांसफर कर रहा है, ये कर रहा है वो कर रहा है, वैसी चीजें नहीं होती है। ये कोई अपॉइंट किया जाता है बैंक्स वगैरह, क्योंकि लार्ज स्केल पे पूरी ट्रांजैक्शंस होती है। अगर मोर देन 100 crores भी है तो कहीं ज्यादा है ये फंड, कहीं ज्यादा मतलब कहीं ज्यादा। जैसे कि पीवीआर भी एक स्टार्टअप सी था, तो उसको आईसीआईसीआई, मुझे लगता है हाँ आईसीआईसीआई ने वेंचर कैपिटल के थ्रू फंडिंग करी थी, तब जा, या बट इनिशियल स्टेज पे आईसीआईसीआई ही था, बिगिनिंग स्टेज पे, बाद में लाटर ऑन कई सारे एसबीआई कैपिटल वगैरह भी आया, बाकी सारे बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा कैपिटल भी आया, कई सारे बैंक्स ने फिर कंट्रीब्यूट कर दिया। Right. ये करते ना अलग अलग लेवल पे। हाँ यही, ये भी एक सवाल आता है, जैसे कि अगर कोई बिगिनिंग में एक इन्वेस्टर आपने चूज करा है तो क्या एंड तक वही रहेगा क्या? इट डिपेंड, इट डिपेंड्स। इट अगर आपके पास उतना फंड है ही नहीं है, जैसे कि मैं आपको फंड कर रहा हूँ, लेट से मैं आपको फंड कर रहा हूँ एंड उसमें एक 2000 crore की रिक्वायरमेंट है आपको, बट लैटर ऑन 2000 crore की रिक्वायरमेंट आगे जाके 10,000 crore की हो सकती है। तो जैसे ही 2000 crore खत्म हो जाएंगे, मैं बोलूंगा भाई अब मेरे पास तो कुछ बचा नहीं है, तो बचा नहीं तो ऐसे तो नहीं होगा ना कि भाई अभी क्या करूँ। सो वो तो हाथ पे हाथ धर के आप बैठ नहीं सकते, तो फिर से आप क्या करोगे, फिर से आप, मैं कुछ हिस्सा बेचूंगा आप कुछ हिस्सा बेचोगे, फिर से इनवाइट करोगे, फिर से इनवाइट करोगे, तो अलग अलग लेवल पे यू कैन इनवाइट टू टू द न्यू वेंचर कैपिटल्स हु कैन इन्वेस्ट इन योर बिजनेस। So it is not mandatory the first one who is with you since the beginning, so he'll be with you at the end. Even he can exit as well, and that is what, अगर वो एक ही रहता है साथ में तो फिर हमारा काम है ही नहीं है उसमें, वो दोनों ही देख लेंगे। एज अ प्रोसेसर हम क्या करेंगे फिर उन दोनों के बीच में? तो ये लोग आते हैं एग्जिट करते रहते हैं, आते एग्जिट करते रहते हैं, तो ये पूरे एक्टिविटीज देखना है हमें। जैसे कि मैं अभी 2000 crore कंट्रीब्यूट करने के बाद मुझे लगता है कि मेरी रिस्क ज्यादा बढ़ गई, मुझे कम करनी है, तो मैं थोड़ा बहुत पोर्शन मेरे हिस्से का मैं बेच दूंगा, 500 crore का 200 crore का मैं रेज करूंगा। No, no, even that is not. See, simple. Suppose you are a owner of this India's payment solution, and now I have contributed 2000 crores to you. But at this point of time, I want my fund back. I know you can't, even you are not in a position to that provide or return back my fund at this point of time. And even I took the ownership because I'm in a board position, and even I'm working as a owner. So it means I'm also owner of this particular business. But yes, you can find another solution, which is you can sell out your 50% or 20% your stake from the business, and you can raise the fund again. And the same way even businessmen also they can do the same. तो इसलिए ना कि हमारी मतलब ओनरशिप एट द एंड ऑफ दी, मतलब जैसे जैसे समय बीतता जाता है तो हमारी खुद की ओनरशिप कम कम होती जाती है उस बिजनेस में। एट द एंड खुद के हिस्से में आपको आपकी ओनरशिप बचेगी सिर्फ 10 to 20%, क्योंकि कहीं सारे प्लेयर्स ऐसे सेंट्री मारते, क्योंकि दूसरा ऑप्शन नहीं है। ऐसे बिजनेसेस को बैंक्स कभी लोन नहीं देती है। दे हाँ, तो अगर लोन देती है तो इट मीन्स वो एक एनबीएफसी होगी, नॉन बैंकिंग फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस, दे कैन टेक द रिस्क, क्योंकि बैंक्स को अलाउड नहीं है अलाउड, लेकिन उसके लिए आपको कोलाटरल देना पड़ेगा। अभी 10,000 का कोलाटरल किसके पास होगा? तो ये ऐसे सवाल भी आते हैं इंटरव्यूज में वेंचर कैपिटल के, क्योंकि वेंचर कैपिटल जॉब ये ऐसा नहीं कि आप जाके रिकॉन करते बैठोगे वहां पे। इसलिए वीसी के प्रोफाइल्स तगड़े पैकेज भी देते हैं, तो तगड़ा काम भी होता है वहां पे। जिनको बैलेंस शीट इंटरप्रेट करना आता है, जिनको वैल्यूएशन करना आता है, जिनको जो लार्ज स्केल पे ऑपरेशंस चलते हैं, क्लाइंट के साथ जाके नेगोशिएट करना, बिजनेस आइडियाज डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करना, बिजनेस आइडियाज जो है उनको पहचानना, यूनिक बिजनेस आइडियाज पहचानना, वैल्यूएशन करना कॉम्पिटिटर्स का एज वेल एज अपनी कंपनी का, कंपेयर करना, फिर एक वैल्यू डिसाइड करना। इसमें कई सारे टास्क होते हैं, तो ऐसे ही टास्क होते हैं, लेकिन तो ये इतना इजी नहीं है। तो इसलिए यहाँ पर कई बार they always try to look for a persons who has the same kind of skill set, or the persons who have worked in already venture capital, they prefer to hire to that particular person. But अभी अभी तो बहुत सारी चीजें ऐसे ऑटोमेट हो रही है, और टेक्नोलॉजिकल एडवांसमेंट दैट यू कैन सी इन प्लेस, so that is what you can manage your operations on a technological platform, so that is what you will have an opportunity to work on a venture capitals as well, or their business lines. So that could be for a payment operations, that could be for a reporting part, that could be for a to monitoring the business transactions, or to reconcile the payment transactions, or it could be for a just to manage the clients, or to call them or discuss them, or listen their requirements and all, or maybe it could be the data management as well. Data management it means कि वेंचर कैपिटल्स का डेटा बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, ये खुद के लेवल पे भी हमें मैनेज करना होता है। लास्ट ईयर कस्टमर कितने थे, अब कितने हुए, कितने ऐड हुए, कितने नहीं हुए, राइट? कि, कितने लोग कौन से पेमेंट ऑप्शन से खरीद रहे हैं। फिर अगर इंडिया पेमेंट की बात करूँ, तो आपको ये होना चाहिए कि कौन से कंट्री में कितना पैसा भेजा जा रहा है, तो उसमें मुझे कितना रेवेन्यू मिल रहा है, रिपीटेटिव कितने कंट्रीज में हो रहा है, कौन से कंट्रीज में नहीं हो रहा है। सो अकॉर्डिंगली यू कैन चेंज योर बिजनेस स्ट्रेटेजीज ना। तो ये कैपिटल वेंचर को भी पता होना चाहिए, जैसे हमने यहीं पे क्लियरली बोल दिया कि विल टेक अ पोजीशन इन बोर्ड एज वेल, राइट? तो यही सी चीज है। अगर अनदर पॉइंट, इफ यू किसी लाइक एड वैल्यू टू द कंपनी थ्रू एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेशन, so again, same. If you take a position in the board, definitely we'll have to work together or collaborate to generate the value for both of the participant, right? And we'll have to contribute efforts collaboratively in the business idea as well. How we can expand, how we can develop this business skill, how we can manage the operations in an agile way, how we can develop this the products and everything, how we can make customers happy and all. So ये एक वेंचर कैपिटल केस है ना, बिजनेस करने जैसा ही है। बोलते वेंचर कैपिटल है, बस कोई वेंचर ऑलरेडी है, दूसरा कोई कैपिटल लेके आ रहा है, एंड दोनों मिलके काम कर रहे हैं। अलग सा कुछ है नहीं है। आपका बिजनेस था पहले से ही है, कोई और पैसा लेके आ रहा है, आपका मालिक बन रहा है। जैसे रेंट के घर में होता है ना कि प्रॉपर्टी ऑलरेडी है, हम जाके रेंट में रहेंगे, रेंट देके ओनर जैसे फील आएगा हमें, जब तक हम वहां पे है तब तक हम देखेंगे कि घर में क्या लगाना है क्या नहीं लगाना है, कहाँ पेंटिंग लगानी कहाँ। तो वैसी वैसी चीजें होती है। सो टेक अ हायर रिस्क, द रिस्क पॉइंट इज ऑलवेज इन द इंटरव्यू डिस्कशन कि ज्यादा रिस्क है तो क्यों इन्वेस्टमेंट करोगे। सो वहां पे लिखा भी है कि टेक अ हायर रिस्क with the expectations of a higher rewards, it means returns. And yeah, have a long term orientation, it means again, अगर बिजनेस पर्सपेक्टिव से why will you look for a this venture capital investment, कई बार ये सवाल आता है। Again the point is for a long term fixed capital or long term capital or orientation that you can make argument here कि भाई चलो कि मुझे लंबे समय के लिए पैसा चाहिए, 4 साल 5 साल, जिसका मुझे रीपेमेंट करने का टेंशन ना हो। इसमें रीपेमेंट रिमेंट करने की कोई टेंशन नहीं होती, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे है कि मेक अ बाय वाया मर्जर एंड एक्विजिशन और आईपीओ लिक्विडिटी इवेंट्स। ये पॉइंट जो है मैं प्राइवेट इक्विटी के समय डिस्कस करूंगा। दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द हिस्ट्री कि ये कैसे कैसे क्या क्या हुआ, बट नो बडी कैन आस्क अबाउट द हिस्ट्री एंड ऑल। So, but again, if you want, then you can go through it. I call my invention the will. जैसे मैंने बोला ना कि इंडियाज पेमेंट, अगर आपने कुछ वो पत्थर को डिजाइन करने का हथौड़ा बना लिया है, तो वैसे वो बता रहा है कि मैंने वो इन्वेंशन किया कि हथौड़ा बनाया है जो पत्थर को आर्किटेक्ट कर सकता है अच्छे से। वैसे तो जैसे आपके पास आइडिया है तो आप रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हो, ये खुद भी आप कर सकते हो, इसके लिए ज़रूरत नहीं कि आप किसी और के पास जाओ। इट्स ऑल अबाउट ये वे, If you want, if you have a zeal to enlarge the business operations, then you can definitely look for others who can contribute. These are like softwares that even you can see in the जो कि वेंचर कैपिटल्स ने फंडिंग दिया हुआ है, एंड कौन से फील्ड्स है जहां पर दैट यू कैन सी कि कैसे कैसे फंड्स आते हैं एंड कौन से सेक्टर्स है. So the even you can see the in infrastructure sector as well. So lots of venture capitals they have invested in like company Intel, Cisco, 3Com, Juniper, Apple, EMC, Sunwind. From a ये नहीं, उनके जो कंपनीज है उनके इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में इन्वेस्ट हुआ है. उनके पास आइडिया थी, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बिल्ड करने के लिए पैसा नहीं था. ओके, देन yeah, even the software, from a software segment, Oracle, Lotus, SEBL, Omniture, and many more Sybase, these are the applications. So even venture capital contributed to develop these applications and all. From an internet background, you can see like for a Google, Yahoo, eBay, AOL, Skype, Netscape, Amazon, YouTube, they have received lots of funds from the venture capitals, and that is what they could develop or they enlarge the business operations at international level, right? So this is also important. Even from a healthcare sector side also, Amgen, Alza, from a service industry, FedEx, Staples, right? Visas partners with the entrepreneurs to build the companies of tomorrow. See, this is very important. अगर वेंचर कैपिटल नहीं होता तो शायद इतने सारे तुम्हें कंपनीज आज जो बड़े बड़े पैमाने पे बिजनेस कर, जैसे कि गूगल दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी कंपनी है, याहू है, ईबे है, अमेजोन है, नेटस्केप, कई सारी ऐसी कंपनी दिखती ही नहीं मार्केट में, क्योंकि इनके डेवलपमेंट के लिए पैसा जो लगता है, बिजनेस लोन काफ़ी नहीं है, ऑनेस्टली नहीं है. ठीक है. So, समय कितना हुआ? ओके, नो वरीज. सो वेंचर कैपिटल, ये शॉर्ट इन्फॉर्मेशन है, ये ज़रूरी नहीं कि ये पढ़ना, बट ये जो हमने जो पॉइंट डिस्कस करे ना, दैट इज़ इम्पोर्टेंट, क्योंकि वही इंटरव्यू में आता है. अगर ये कोई कभी हार्डली, अगर कोई मेरे जैसा बंदा है ना पूछेगा कि कुछ डील्स वगैरह पता है क्या, कुछ पता है क्या, ऐसे, बट ऐसे ज़रूरी नहीं कि ये सब पता हो. जस्ट फॉर योर इन्फॉर्मेशन पर्पज, ये सब चीज़ें भी होती है, कहीं कहीं सारी चीज़ें होती है, जैसे कि मुझे लगता है 600 सेक्टर वाइज ये वहाँ पे इन्वेस्टमेंट हुई है. तो इस सेक्टर वाइज इन्वेस्टमेंट दिख रही है कि आईटी सेक्टर्स में 57% एंड हेल्थ केयर सेक्टर में 26% इन्वेस्टमेंट हुई है वेंचर कैपिटल की. यूएस में ज़्यादा, यूएस डॉलर में ही होती है डील्स, तो यूएस डील 2006 में 25 बिलियन अराउंड इन्वेस्टेड, एंड कम से कम उसमें 2400 यानी कि 2454 डील्स हुए हैं ऑलमोस्ट. पर डील साइज भी दिया हुआ है, कितने लोग काम, ये एक फंड ही है एक्चुअली, तो इस फंड की डिटेल्स हम पढ़ रहे हैं. ओके, सो मैं हमेशा एक आधा फंड उठा लेता हूँ डिस्कशन के लिए, मैं ऐसे नहीं कि मतलब कहीं की इन्फॉर्मेशन, तो वो इजी जाता है पढ़ने के लिए, राइट. सो ये प्राइवेट इक्विटी रिटर्न्स ओवर 20 ईयर्स हॉरिजन है, तो अगर कोई, डेफिनेटली ये ऐसे मेंटेन करना होता है हमें डेटा. जैसे कि यहाँ पे इनकी लैंग्वेज देख लीजिए. फंड टाइप्स, जो है फंड टाइप्स, अर्ली सीड्स वीसी. अर्ली का मतलब है कि एंजल इन्वेस्टमेंट हुआ हो, सीड, एग्जैक्टली. एंड जो अगर ये बोल रहा है कि सीड वीसी है, मतलब इट इज अ वेंचर कैपिटल. ठीक है. सो जो 8.3312 ये जो है ना, जो फंडिंग की हुई है, या फिर उनका जो परफॉर्मेंस है, ये एक्चुअली कितना परफॉर्मेंस रहा है फंड का. रिटर्न भी नहीं, जो वैल्यू होती है ना, वैल्यू बनती जाती है ना, वैल्यू, क्योंकि एक बार आपने इन्वेस्ट किया तो उसके बाद जो फंड की वैल्यू बनती रहती है, बिजनेस की वैल्यू बनती रहती है, राइट. तो वो वैल्यू है. सो लैटर स्टेज कितना हुआ, ये पूरी वैल्यू है. एंड ऑल वेंचर्स का कैपिटल, ये जो लिखा है ना वहाँ पे कि स्मॉल बाय आउट, मेड बाय आउट, लार्ज बाय आउट. बाय आउट का मतलब है कि मैं बिजनेस कितना परचेस कर रहा हूँ. उस बिजनेस में XYZ बिजनेस में 1%, 2%, 3%, 10% और 50% और मोर देन दैट, राइट? सो ये एंड उनके लिए एक ही बिजनेस में ये लोग नहीं एक ही बिजनेस में ये पैसा नहीं लगाते हैं वेंचर कैपिटल्स. दे आल्सो ट्राई टू डाइवर्सिफाई देयर रिस्क. That is what they diversify the risk into IT businesses, healthcare, and other maybe consumer, maybe the service industry and all. Right? 10 वेंचर कैपिटल्स ढूंढेंगे एंड 10 में थोड़ा थोड़ा पैसा लगाएंगे. सॉरी, 10 स्टार्टअप्स ढूंढेंगे ना, उसमें पैसा इन्वेस्ट करेंगे अपना. ओके. मेजा 9. मेजा 9 या मेजा इन समथिंग वर्ड्स. मेजा इन इट्स समथिंग. If the it is like same venture capital. Okay, suppose your business is in development stage and you need a funding. So if you received collective funding from a different investors, so that strategy called as mezzanine financing or mezzanine financing. If you need a 10,000 crore, and if suppose the one investor is not ready to contribute 10,000, and even if they don't want to take a risk, so that is what from a risk perspective also. So 10 investors will come together and they will contribute 10,000 crore investment to you, right? So that strategy called as mezzanine financing. Okay, in a venture capital as well, see the management fees. They charge management fees to cover the cost of the managing the committed capital. In the interview process also you can see the question on management fees. Does VC venture capitals charge management fees or not? Definitely they will charge. Ultimately, venture capitals are there to just manage the funds and to provide the facilities to the businesses. So that is what they will charge the fees, right? And again, here also term that you can select carried interest. The VC's carried interest is around 20 to 25%. They charge on the investment. So we'll discuss this carried interest point in the private equity subject. This is similar quite to the private equity, and even there you can see the more and more examples with it. Right. But yes, the carried interest is the term used to denote the profit split of proceeds to the general partners. Means the hedge fund managers or venture capital management who is managing to this fund. So they will charge the 20% salary or commission. So that term called as carried interest. Here the below you see the example like 100 million fund, 4x return and 2 and 20. So 2 million per year in a management fees. So see this 100 million into 4, which is minus 100 million, because 100 million is the fund. Exactly. And if you minus that, so whatever amount will be there, definitely will charge 20% to it. So it will around 60 million in 60 million as a carried interest that it will received or to the venture capital firm. इसमें दोनों का फायदा है, इन्वेस्टर को भी है एंड इन्वेस्टर को 80% जाता है अल्टीमेटली. 80 नहीं, 78 बोल सकते हो अराउंड. अगर 100 रुपीज अर्न हुए हैं तो 2% मैनेजमेंट फीस, 20% कैरिड इंटरेस्ट. ये 2 and 20 अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट ये भी चीज़ें है, ये भी चीज़ें ऑन डॉक्यूमेंट होती है. ठीक है, कई बार इंटरव्यू में ये क्वेश्चन जरूर आएगा कि क्या 2 और 20 फिक्स है क्या? इट इज़ नॉट अ फिक्स. ओके, even it can be negotiated, depends on the yeah, the counterparties. If the counterparties are ready to negotiate, then you can negotiate. If they are not ready to negotiate, then you can't negotiate. There is no other thought on it, like why they can't negotiate or why they will only pay fix. Right? Sometime you can see if the venture capital firms are not able to generate the return or expected return, then definitely it will affect on the incentive fees as well or performance fees as well. Right? It can be reduced up to 10% or up to 20%, depends. It depends, or it's again it's a mutual understanding of both bilateral counterparts. They will decide what to do, what not to do. Venture capital segments in number of which sector: healthcare, versus IT. So this is something like the comparison that you can see, right? And geography wise, like US, European Union, Indian, Israel, so they are on the top. So where you can see in upcoming time the massive investment will be there from a venture capital side, and even you can see some good news for a venture capital segment in India as well in upcoming time, because the day by day the has been the lots of changes has been made in the venture capital industry. Government is supporting a lot, so I'm sure till this the at least NDA government you can see some big revamp for venture capital investment. Right here you can see the stage like seed early, mid stage, late stage, near break even, and expansion and mezzanine capital. This is the term. So एक्सपेंशन स्टेज पे अगर फंडिंग की जरूरत होती है तो 10 बिजनेस मिलके तुम्हें फंड करेंगे. जैसे कि एक वेंचर कैपिटल था, मैं एग्जांपल के तौर पर एक्सेल सीट में बता दूंगा. अगर ये आज के सेशन में नहीं हुआ तो मैं नेक्स्ट सेशन में ये आपको एक एक्सेल सीट में लिखूंगा चीज़ें कि कैसे कैसे काम करती है. नहीं तो अगर अभी ये होने के बाद अगर 5 मिनट भी टाइम मिलता है तो आई शो यू. ओके, सो लेट स्टेज. So structure of a firm, again this is also very important, so we should know that. And even the same structure you can see in the private equity space as well. Okay, so these are the like departments. The general partner 6 to 8 active deals at a time, so they will have to diversify their portfolio into different company or segments. That would say like IT, sports, entertainment, gaming, pharmaceutical, automobile, and all. Right. Then the principals associate drive deals flow, deals process, and portfolio company development and all. So this is like just to take care of all the deals. It means that uh, जितना फंड हम इन्वेस्ट करते हैं या फिर इन्वेस्टिंग के लिए जो कंपनी चूज करते हैं उसी को डील कहा जाता है, इसलिए डील वर्ड यूज करते हैं. ठीक है, डील्स इट्स अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट बिटवीन टू काउंटर पार्ट्स. Then other the departments also you can see like the finance, marketing, and HR staff as well. And apart from that, the decision making. So this is something important, right? So individual partners champions deals to group deal team intelligence prospect and build the investment case. Partnership acts as a check and balance to ensure careful decision making. ये बहुत important point है. The last one is partnership acts as a check and balance to ensure careful decision making. जितना भी फंड जाएगा वो बिजनेस पर्सपेक्टिव के लिए ही जाना चाहिए. अगर ये बिजनेस पर्सपेक्टिव के लिए फंड नहीं जाता है तो फिर मतलब नहीं है उस चीज़ का. बहुत बार ऐसे होता है ना कि यू कैन राउट दिस पर्टिकुलर फंड टू योर पर्सनल इंटेंशन एज वेल. दैट इज व्हाट. Okay, so this depends on a stage. Let's focus on early stage since that is what we do. Team, the domain expertise with the core technical strength and knowledge of given market opportunity. If you want a job in a venture capital, ये point बहुत ज़रूरी है. Market opportunity मतलब जैसे कि अभी आने वाले समय में कौन से सेगमेंट में स्कोप ज़्यादा रहेगा. जैसे कि क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग हुआ, इंटरनेट, आईओटी हुआ, इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स, कई सारे ऐसे बिजनेसेस है. जैसे कि अभी अर्ली स्टेज में आप देखोगे क्रिप्टो मार्केट रैपिडली डेवलप हो रहा है, तो ये स्कोप पहचानना आना चाहिए. इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू to understand the market opportunities, then you can't be a good expert in the venture capital space, right? Then you need to have a history of collaboration and success as well, a willingness to allow venture capitals to help and build the team. This is all about the market and emerging and the fact growing market. Bad markets make for bad companies, business models. So even you should know how will you make money for yourself and for investors as well, and how will you sell your business or idea to the investors and to generate the the good amount of wealth for your investors. Again, the technology also important, the defensible technology and IP that can protect the from competitive barriers over time. So we should have a technology in place as well, so which can help us to run the business operations. एंड नाउअडेज तो कई सारी ऐसे अकाउंटिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज है, पेमेंट के लिए टेक्नोलॉजीज है, सो वेर यू कैन ट्रेस ऑल द पेमेंट ट्रांजैक्शंस. डेटा टेक्नोलॉजी भी है, डेटा साइंस वगैरह काफ़ी ड्रास्टिक चेंज हुआ है उसमें, सो यू कैन यूज़ द डेटा साइंस टूल्स टू मॉनिटर ऑल योर बिजनेस strategies and all your data again, like that tableau you can see, kanban you can see, like there are even the Microsoft Power BI is there, so even you can use to interpret the data. Excel is there, Microsoft Excel and all, so you can use that to demonstrate the data or visualize the data in a very systematic way. That is also important. What should founders expect reduce proper failure? This is something like just to how can you avoid the risk, and also that is for like budgeting, KPI templates, back office infrastructure and all, so that you need to have, and even we should follow the best practices. Shorten cycle time for hiring, partnering, selling, PR, capital raising, because ये जो वेंचर कैपिटल्स होते हैं उसमें पेन बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, अच्छे लोग मिलना, क्वालिटी लोग मिलना, हायरिंग प्रोसेस भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. ये हमारा हमारा वो पार्ट है ही नहीं है हायरिंग वीरिंग का, बट जस्ट वी आर लुकिंग फॉर ऑपरेशन पर्सपेक्टिव. तो ये कई सारे ऑपरेशंस दैट यू कैन सी, ये पूरा डिसीजन मेकिंग का काम है. बट जैसे कि ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज हमें पता होना चाहिए ना, जैसे कि सेलिंग होगा, हायरिंग होगा, कैपिटल रेजिंग है, तो वो भी कहीं ना कहीं हम यहाँ पे जॉब करने लगेंगे तो हमें वो पता होना चाहिए. Sanity check and balances, so it means कि this particular profile is for like recon and all, recon exactly monetary purposes. तो इसमें ये पूरा गो थ्रू होने के बाद पता ये चलता है कि हम कौन से प्रोफाइल के लिए हम फिट हो सकते हैं, अगर आने वाले समय में अगर ये ज़्यादा बढ़ता है तो हम कहाँ काम कर सकते हैं. ये जो है ना आपका F E&A, फाइनेंशियल, ये प्लानिंग एंड ये अकाउंटिंग का है, तो ये पूरा रिपोर्टिंग का पार्ट है. Budgeting, KPI templates, back office infra. Here in this space, you can see the opportunities in the venture capital firms, right? And the other functions that even you can see: HR, marketing function, promotion, marketing and promotion, then selling, capital raising. Again, that is a front office function. So we'll have to meet. So promotion, if I'm not wrong, PR, because to do the promotion of that activity, right? Right. Then the sanity check is like something just to ensure that there is nothing hide and seek, everything is clean, right? So this is something, leave it, not important. Again, this is not important. This is like a study. Pat your head and rub your tummy hard to do. So this is like from again decision making perspective, just to ensure that is the idea sufficiently backed. Pick your co-founders very carefully. Test fit with VC, personality, value, knowledge of market and all. Optimize for a best deal, not best price. Consider the following downstream effect of the financing. High cost money can be very victories if company misfires. Angel financing can be a mixed blessing. Be careful while choosing the the venture capitals. ये सारी चीजें देखनी होती है, तो इसलिए ये उनके डिसीजन मेकिंग पर्सपेक्टिव से है. Investing is a people business and getting a meeting is all about who you know. Best way to approach a VC. जितनी हमने चीज़ें डिस्कस करी है वही चीज़ें इन शॉर्ट उन्होंने एक सजेशन के तौर पर यहाँ पर रखी हुई है. Don't take rejection personally. The odds are against you. Every VC is interested. Force them to do work to test their levels of the interest. Don't waste time trying to change the mind of someone who says no. And if you want the history of this particular Hummer Winblad highlights. Then you can see this 104 investment in 17 years, 51 liquidity events in 17 years, 17 IPOs, 34 acquisitions, 10 were 10x or more returns. 10x means मल्टीप्लाई 10 टाइम मल्टीप्लाई हुए उसके रिटर्न्स 10x का मतलब है ओके 10 into x 100 as simple as that 4 liquidity events. Yes, yes, no, this is a venture capital fund, venture capital firm. Yes, right. So this is their data actually. Marketwire, latest acquisitions that you can see acquisitions, Marketwire, Akimbi employee is latest IPO like Omitier, OMTR, 670 million market size, and they are currently 30 active boards. एक्टिव बोर्ड्स का मतलब है कि उनका डिटेल्स है अलग अलग 30 कंपनियों में उन्होंने खुद के बोर्ड्स मेंबर बिठाए हैं ठीक है so this is internal rate of return is very important when a digital equipment went public in 1986 it provided ERD with 1 not 10% internal rate of return so मतलब अगर 100 रुपए के डायरेक्टली 100 बन गए right so this is very important so this is their data actually you can refer for your own knowledge this is like need to know basis institutional investors will allocate 2 to 3% of their institutional portfolio to allocative assets such as private equity or venture capital so this task is quite important in a private equity segments as well यानी ये बहुत दिक्कत वाला भी है समझने के लिए क्योंकि allocation is a manual activity we'll have to allocate fees to the different investors account so before that you need to perform lots of valuation checks कितनी फीस जाएगी कितने परसेंट में जाएगी उसका इफेक्ट क्या होगा देना है इफेक्ट उनके अकाउंट से डेबिट करना है क्रेडिट करना है एडजस्ट करना है पहले क्रेडिट हुआ है तो डेबिट करना है सो यू कैन सी ए नंबर ऑफ एक्टिविटीज एंड दिस इज लाइक अ प्योर मैनुअल बेस्ड वर्क सो इन दिस स्पेस आई थिंक 2 to 3 एप्लीकेशंस आर देयर बट कई सारी ये एपेक्स के साथ आई थिंक ये मैनुअली कैलकुलेट करना होता है एनटी एपेक्स यहाँ पर और सिटको ट्रिनिटी एक एप्लीकेशन है ट्रिनिटी में you can put a data and the application will help you to calculate but ज़्यादा तौर पे नहीं है इसलिए again 50% of venture capital comes from institutional public and private pension funds so this question you can see who can contribute or who can invest in the venture capitals so this is very important institutional public and private pension funds right if there is any private pension funds even they can also contribute in the venture capitals and apart from that you can see the other 50% comes from endowments foundation it could be the social farm it could be the universities it could be the educational institutions right the other is like insurance companies banks and individuals so this is also very important again ये हमेशा सवाल पूछे जाते हैं कि क्या क्या आ सकता है क्या क्या नहीं आ सकता है सो वी शुड नो दैट ये है इंटरव्यू के पर्सपेक्टिव से पूरी चीजें ठीक है तो ये इंटरव्यू में सवाल कई बार पूछते हैं कि हु कैन कंट्रीब्यूटर हु आर द इन्वेस्टर्स फॉर द वेंचर कैपिटल्स फर्म राइट then the venture capital firms comes in various sizes from a small seed specialist firm of only a few $1 million under management to firm with over $1 billion in invested capital around the world specialization is function of a market size ये market size का questions तो कोई पूछता नहीं है but ये just we should know it to common denominators dollars commitment to US venture capitals growth of active firms till 2005 see the growth of venture capital firms investment level surpassed deal flow equity into venture backed companies amount invested the high investment was in 2000 so after that yeah yeah there was a boom in industry as well as the US market wasn't like because it was in a US economy was in boom stage that is what The investment flow was the high in 2000. Then IT deals. So you can see the business, consumer, retail. Yeah, the IT deals was in the focus. 57% investment was in IT businesses. And then the another was in healthcare, and the rest was like business, consumer, retail, and other. But yeah, IT always the IT is the large segment. So this is again the areas that you can find research Washington State. This is for the geographic demonstration. Okay, so we'll take more again 5 minutes to just India's payment service as here that you can see. Shit. Okay, this is the startups. Then after the startups, you can find angel investor. So and again, so it depends on the requirement of the business. Suppose the business is in need of 100 million, then you can raise the 100 million from the angel investors. So that funding again, uh, suppose if you feel like this funding is not enough to scale to your business, then you can go with the seed funding. And again, if you need a 100 million more, then you can raise this from the venture capitals. Here also you can see the rounds. Round is like A, B, C, D, E, and even more than that. But the ideal or the generic rounds that you can see up to 5. So rounds are like every time you need a funds. For example, you have a prediction is like you need around 1000 crore. So every round that you can raise 100 million, right? So this is how you can raise the funds, and how you can raise is even in a venture capital they call like capital call. When they ask for the investor, they send a proper notice to the investor to stating that you have committed this capital around 1000 crore, right? But so that is in like this stages. Even in the interview process also they ask this question. So how the venture capitals or businesses raise the funds? They raise the funds through the series, right? A, B, C, D, E. Every series they acquire some funds. Okay. So like your question was like how the mezzanine works. So for example, in the first series or second, okay, so here suppose at this stage it took like 5 years, and still your business is not in a position to generate the profit. Yeah, you have the very good history about the revenue, so your business is generating huge revenue in trillions or millions, that I would say $1 million or $1 trillion, but your business is not able to generate the profit. Even you can take the example of Paytm is also not able to generate profit till date. Even the latest listing was for this Zomato again, they are not able to generate profit till date. Even the this company, the latest, the gaming company was the Nazara. Even still they are not, yeah, Nazara technology, they are not able to generate the profit. Okay, but yeah, their revenue is good. They're the the on quarter they are grabbing the new deals and acquisitions, right? So that is what you can say, like the startups is at a top stage. So in upcoming time, definitely they will convert their revenue into profit. Okay, but see again here, like suppose you need a 1000 crore investment, right? Here again you need a fund, but like this, suppose here the company was the Morgan Stanley venture capital, or let's say Apex. Let's say the example, you can take the. Hello. Hello. Okay. So actually, I lost my connection and suddenly your sound's been off. So I thought you left. Okay. So here you can see. So up to 5 years, again they need a 1,000 crore or 100 million or 10 million that you can call. So now, like this Apex institution is not able to pay because they have already invested 1,000 crore, right? Then they have a two options. Suppose venture capital they actually grabbed, let's say 30% stake through the board, this board member, or let's say even you can call like it was a like management buyout procedure, or even preference that you can call. It's up to you, right? And the business owner or promoters they have hold around 70%. So what they can do, so they can again do the valuations of their business in this stage, and they can invite to the other investors because the Apex is not ready to invest more because their capacity was like 1000 crores, so they have invested it and they don't have much to invest, and even nobody can invest. See, that is what. So when you invest in one company, then your risk will be high, right? Even Apex want to reduce their risk, right? So that is what, so they can take a call to reduce the capital. Even they can reduce capital, or else the promoters can sell out their another stake. So like again they can reduce their 30% stake. So here they can monetize their 30% stake. So suppose the value of that 30% stake is around 1000 crore, so they can sell out to the company. So here again that you can see the two ways acquisition can happen. One is the preference equity, and another is your the management buyout, right? And suppose if this is a management buyout, then the no one is ready to contribute 30% of capital, or again 1000 crore, right? So let's see, this is again like quite a risky call for the investor as well because so 5 years gone and business is not able to generate the profit. Everyone will be cautious at this stage. So they can go with the loan syndication procedure, right? So loan syndication. So loan syndication, it means it's a panel. Okay, panel of 2 to 3 or 4, even more than that, entities. So it could be like HDFC, ICICI, SBI, Bank of Baroda, Axis. This five banks they can contribute together. So 2000 crore each, sorry, 200 crore each. This, and they can contribute here as well, right? And their requirement will be fulfilled. So this even procedure called as like mezzanine financing, because the business was in progress stage, and at the time business was in a need of fund, and the loan syndication or the body of that entities, they are ready to fulfill the requirement of that particular business, and the proportionately they can even distribute this ownership as well. And even here also you can see the change in the capital funding procedure as well. So like 10%, 20%, even they can distribute this 30% among them, or they can distribute equally or they can distribute unequally. It depends on their call, डिपेंड्स ऑन देयर मैनेजर्स एज वेल. जैसे कि एचडीएफसी का मैनेजर को लगता है कि मुझे बिजनेस मॉडल तो अच्छा दिख रहा है, थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा अपना पोर्शन लेना चाहिए, तो ये अपना ज़्यादा भी ले सकते हैं. अभी यहाँ तो 5% लिया हुआ है, each 5%. Hello. Hello, Rahul. Hello. 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 Shit. Hello, Rahul. मेरा ज़्यादा ही पावर बैक, मतलब जा रहा है आ रहा है जा रहा है आ रहा है, क्या चल रहा है पता नहीं. Okay, so see, this is the, how the venture capital works. This is the procedure that you can see. Okay, so in the next sessions we'll continue to this here, and because from since this point the other investors will come into picture, like uh, your uh, hedge fund, mutual fund, right? Other investors and the private equities. So we'll start to the private equity in the next session. Okay. So now you can raise your voice and even doubts. If you have any doubts, so we can resolve this here. So, so they will see, they will sign the agreement. First of all, they will find the investor. Then once they found the investor, they can appoint the trustee, right? So who can help you to manage their funds. and the trustee, the definitely they would be the bank. Then they will sign the agreement. Agreement, it could be bilateral, it could be multilateral. All right. So on the agreement, you can see the business details, global funding details, is that? Or the screen was already shared. Okay, I'll share it again. So that might be due to this connection. Okay, here that you can see. Okay, so the first find the investor, then appoint the trustee, then met the agreement, then the agreement type should be like bilateral or multilateral. Bilateral, it means directly the business entity and the investor, right? And the multilateral, it means the another party also can be involved as and when. So yeah, and then the business details. Business details, it means their scale, their other details, everything. The owner, sub owner, the other owner, third owner, every detail should be there on the agreement. So there you can see the clause, a different clause like one, two, three. The session wise, you can see the information. Then global funding details. Global funding details, it means the committed amount. Even you can call it. Committed amount would be like 2,000 crore, 3,000 crore, 100 crore, 200 crore, 500 crore. It could be any. So again, depends on the valuation, right? Even the valuation details also would be there on the agreement itself. So how they have value to the business and through which accounting principle, whether it is a discounted or whether it is a market. Okay. Then the rounds, funding rounds like this. In how many rounds they are going to fund to that particular business. For example, so the as I mentioned, the global commitment amount is 1,000 crore. So they will definitely series to it like A, B, C, D, E. It's like a home loan, right? In every stage, they contribute some funds to the business, like 200 crore here, 300 crore here, sorry, 200 crore here. So every stage they can contribute some amount, or even this can vary. It's not like it would be in the same portion. It depends on the agreement between the counterparts, or again depends on the business scale. Okay, and why the agreement is important. So to decide whether they are going through with the preference equity or else through with the what I would say, the management buyout. Okay, so there's all the terms and the cycles, it goes like this, and the cycle even we have started here. So in this case you can see, so depends on the business, so how much funds they required. On the basis of that they can take the decision, and even they can invite other new investors as well, or the loan syndications as well. So when you see the loan syndications and more players come into picture, the even so when the fund come into picture, you can see that the lots of framework required is there, right? तो ये जो loan syndications भी होता है, here also you can see the agreements between businesses, right? Agreements between even Apex can also sell their stake, so you can see the agreements between Apex to all these players, or else even you can see the agreements between this the your company like Indian Payment Solution IPS to this syndications. Suppose Apex contributed 10% ownership and this contributed 20%. So you can see the agreements between these as well. So here also you can find a scope for the operation analyst as well. So our job is to do the settlement between these two, because this transaction settlement period would be for T plus 5 or T plus 10. T plus 10 is for a different. There are two types of market you can find in the loan syndication market. One is LMA, loan market or mortgage association, and another is like uh, LSTA. LSTA, Loan Securities Trading Association, or Loan Syndication Trading Association. I'm not wrong. Then that is the okay. So here, like T plus 2, if this particular deal happened on today, then it should be settled. It should be complete within T plus 10. But this is, not going to happen within a 10 days as well. So it's required lots of time to do the framework, to take the consent, to sign the docs, right? And here that you can select T plus 10, sorry, T plus 5. Okay, so between these two counterparts, you can see the agreements like confirm agreement, right? Contract note, contract notes, then the funding memos, then the loan details, assignment agreement, initial trade execution agreements, and many more that you can see. Okay, the other would be like the master agreement. So this is the framework that you can see behind the story, as simple as that. And it depends again, even this in Indian market also you can see this. In Indian market, again, it should be settled on a T plus 10 basis, but that won't happen. So as I mentioned, there is required lots of framework to complete the counterparty consent forms and all, right? This is not like a equity. This is something like a different altogether equity. इक्विटी एक दिन में 2 दिन में सेटल हो जाती है थोड़ा सा वेरिफिकेशन होने के बाद, लेकिन ये चीज़ें नहीं होती है, राइट? फंडिंग होने तक कई सारी चीज़ें पिक्चर में आती है। रेटिंग भी है, जैसे कि अगर बिजनेस को फंड देना है तो बिजनेस को रेट मिला है क्या, उसका वैल्यूएशन अच्छा है नहीं है, ये लोग भी अपना वैल्यूएशन कराएंगे अपने टीम्स को बोल के। सो इट्स टेक लॉट्स ऑफ टाइम। ठीक है, ये फ्रेमवर्क जितना हमने स्लाइड्स में डिस्कस किया उतना इजी नहीं है, ये ऐसी चीज़ें एक्चुअली वर्कआउट होती है, राइट? तो यही चीज़ें आपको प्रैक्टिकल लेवल पे दिखेगी वहाँ पे। तो हम इसी एग्जाम्पल को टिल द प्राइवेट इक्विटी सीरीज और हेज फंड तक हम डिस्कस करने वाले हैं इंडियन पेमेंट सोल्यूशन। ओके, सो विल कंटिन्यू टू दैट। सो आई होप आई हैव रिजॉल्व योर डाउट्स स्टिल। ओके, या जैसे ऑन गोइंग प्रोसेस जाएगी कई सारे डाउट्स ऑटोमेटिकली रिजॉल्व होने लगेंगे, बट यू कैन आस्क एज मच एज यू कैन। So when you ask, I'll be go more deeper. So again, we'll pick up more examples and we'll explain in a more again a different way. So I'll find another way to explain to you if you're not able to understand the way I'm teaching to you. Okay? Yes, yes, that book is also important. You can find more and more valuable content because that gives you the entire picture of a private equity market and even the firms and their structure and their the other mechanism and how they process and all. That is also important. The to just listen, which is not enough. So to my mind honestly, so we should have to read books as well or notes as well. That is important, which can help us to develop that language in our mind so we can explain to anyone. अगर आपको ये प्राइवेट इक्विटी पहले से ही पता होगा लेकिन इसके कुछ वर्ड्स है जो आते नहीं है ना, तो इसलिए तो हमें आंसर नहीं दे पाते सामने वाले को। जैसे कि सीरीज वर्ड है, कैपिटल कॉल है, कमिटेड कैपिटल है, ग्लोबल अमाउंट है, टोटल अमाउंट है, टोटल फंडिंग है, ये वर्ड्स है जो हमें बुक्स में ही मिलते हैं या फिर नोट्स में ही मिलते हैं। एंड इंटरव्यूअर यही चीजें एक्सपेक्ट करता है क्योंकि सिस्टम में वही नाम होता है, सिस्टम जो होता है उसी में भी वही नाम दिखता है, टोटल कैपिटल। जैसे कि मैंने ये चीज दिखाई थी ना आपको कि ये टोटल कैपिटल इतना है, तो सीरीज में ऐसे कैपिटल्स आते रहते हैं। जैसे कि एक कमिटमेंट नाम लिखा है यहाँ पे, राइट? तो ये ऐसे इस लैंग्वेज के लिए आपको बुक्स की ही ज़रूरत है, ये लैंग्वेज आपको इजीली नहीं आती है। See this, draw down. See this, ये आपको easily language grab नहीं होती, uncalled capital. But if you read the books, if you read the notes, definitely you will have this language, so you can tackle to the questions as well. So you can develop your own answers. So you should develop that. You should read that. See this. So that is what the books is also important. जो भी मैं चीजें फॉरवर्ड करता हूँ, so तो रीड करने की कोशिश तो एटलीस्ट करो, कई सारी चीजें उसमें कौन या okay, then fine. If you don't have any questions, so we'll close this call. And I think, okay, chalo. Well, yeah, we'll see you in next session. Yeah, bye. Yeah, have a good day. Bye.